Officially call the Warren City Council meeting for July the 14th to order and ask that the city clerk call the roll, please.
Councilmember Hooper,
Present.
Councilmember Burgess Frazier,
Here.
Councilmember Henderson,
Here.
Councilmember Tolfree,
Present.
Councilmember Mosley, Councilmember Atkins.
Here.
Okay, we have 5 members present, and just for the record, Councilmember Mosley contacted me this afternoon, and she's got vertigo. If you've ever dealt with that or know somebody that has, you know that's not very pleasant. She can't really get up and move around any, so she intended to be here. It's just one of those things, so we will proceed on, but we do have a quorum. First item of business, item 4, is approval of the minutes, and it's June the 9th. Now, you could have a copy, because it may have said June the 10th. We've got that corrected, but it's June the 9th of 2025.
I move that the minutes for June 9th, 2025 be approved.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the minutes of June the 9th, 2025. Any question, discussion, correction concerning those minutes? All in favor of approval, show of hands, please. I see 5 in favor with 1 absent, so that approves that.
I move
Now-
that the special call meeting minutes of June 16th be approved.
Second.
A motion second on those call minutes of June the 16th of 2025. Any question, discussion, or correction of those minutes? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent, so takes care of that. Thank you. We'll go to the city clerk's report. You've got a copy of the revenue and expenditures for the year to date. Of course, this goes through June of 2025. I'm just going to ask you just to look at it. You, of course, have had some time to look at it. Everything's pretty much going according to normal circumstances. If you look through administrative, we're still in good shape there. This is based on our budget. Law enforcement, fire, sanitation is hanging in there pretty good. Building codes, district court, municipal building, that's the budget just for this building, recreation, cultural center. Of course, there's nothing going on out there, but our just utility expenses that are still owned, we keep on for insurance purposes, and insurance costs has been the big thing there. The National Guard Armory, we've had a good many things we've had to do over there. Shooting range is doing good, well within the budget. Senior Citizens Center. Other expenses, which covers a number of different things, mainly insurance, we're doing okay there. Airport, okay. Economic development, we've just about spent what we had budgeted already for that for the year, but I don't have a whole lot of other things that I know that we're going to have to do right now. And the street, of course, is listed as well. So,
I move that we approve the financial statement of revenue and expenditures as overview given by the board.
Second.
a motion and a second. Is there any question or discussion concerning the motion to approve the financial report? Got any question on anything? All in favor, show of hands, please. I see 5 votes in favor with 1 absent. Takes care of that. You've got your sales tax reports, both the city and the county. And I want y'all to notice that sales tax remains down from a year ago. Been a long time since we've kind of seen a reduction and kind of consistently throughout this year. Matter of fact, if I'm looking at that right, we've had 1 month, April, where it was above last year. it just continues to be down. The county's the same way. It's not drastic, but it is down some. Just for the public's information, our revenue for the city sales tax was for June, what we received in June, that's usually about 2 months behind, $83,090.22. The county, our share of the county tax is for June was $58,867.71. Need to see that pick up, obviously, long term. Everybody I talk to says sales taxes are just down slightly throughout the state. District Court, you've got their report, what they collect, what they've spent. And then you will see, of course, it's being the time of the year, we got your overtime report by each department. And I wanted to mention to the council, I think somebody brought this up maybe last month, why we keep having that heading up there on the head of this thing. It says AEDC grant fund, J&E food. Did you ever get a report back on that? Because we were
Yes,
trying to
that's
figure
just-
out why that was there.
It's just listing all of our funds that we have.
Why is it on this report?
I don't, they just, it's the way it is. On some it is, on some it's not.
Okay. Somebody asked that question, I didn't know the
It's
answer
just
either,
that,
and then
yeah.
when we got it for this time, it was still there, so I had to ask the clerk
It's
to
just
call
a
and
list.
ask them why that's showing up, right? 'Cause that's not what this is about, but anyway. Has anybody got any questions on any of the overtime? You can see the police department is by far the biggest, and that's because we are so short of police officers. Everybody's having to work a lot of overtime. Only way we can keep it staffed. Any questions on any of the financial reports? You've already approved the revenue and expenditure statement. Is there any questions on any of the rest of it? I'll move along. Mayor's report. We have an employee to recognize. Mr. Joe, would you come up? And Rob Johnson, Kyle, he's out there somewhere. Joe Calvert, we are very pleased. We have chosen him as the employee of the quarter. Council members, I think most of y'all know. And of course, he works for the Parks and Recreation Department. Kyle is his right-hand man. That's kind of the way it works. But anyway, Joe does a lot of different things for us all, for Parks and Recreation, from just maintenance to helping in the concession stand to whatever we need done, and also the city parks and the pool and everything that falls under Parks and Recreation, he helps us with. And of course, he really helped us out earlier this year when we got caught kind of short with personnel at the shooting range. You know, we ended up losing both people we had there, and it really hurt us on being able to keep it open. And he stepped in like a champ and kept that thing going for us, and we are very appreciative of that. And we got new people out there now. I don't think you have to go out there like you were, but he's always helped us out. We got a little gift certificate here for you. I think that might help. And we want to get a picture made, council members, if y'all all want to step up here. Are you up to it, or you want?
I'm gonna pass on this.
Well, I tell you, okay.
Come over here to you.
Yeah, why don't you stay there and see if we can kind of get around you here. Come on, get the picture made.
Can you get
I'll need to squeeze by you,
Okay.
sorry.
Y'all fill in there. Joe, you kind of get up front there. All right, we get everybody? Let's,
Okay.
all right, yep, everybody pay attention.
On three, say cheeseburger. 1, 2, 3.
I like money.
Okay, wait a minute, got one more there. Got it? Thank you. Joe, thank you.
Thank
We
you,
just
Mr. Joe.
appreciate you and all you do, and
Thank you, Mr. Joe.
you are top notch, I tell you, we appreciate
The
you.
grandkids gonna appreciate it.
So kind.
They gonna be able to-
Everybody big.
They gonna meet him when he get home.
No, you can ride.
Okay. I failed to mention something when we started the meeting. If you wonder why we got this door open right here, came down here, turned the air conditioner on earlier today, and it was not cooling. Well,
We've already heard.
okay, you guys got the story. Okay, well, I think they got it going, but we thought right now, because it had kind of heated up a little bit, we're getting some air in that other area back there. So that's why that's open. All right, thank you so much. Joe, we do appreciate you very much. You're dependable, the man's there when he needs to be there, and he takes care of his business, and we appreciate it very much.
That north side upbringing.
Most of y'all know what Councilmember Tolfree's talking about. What he's talking about. So. All right, let me move along here. I'll try to be very, very brief with some of the rest of the mayor's report. I want to give you a little update on our industrial recruiting and industrial development efforts, because this is very important to the future of the city. The 105 acres of land out on the 189 bypass is done. The closing has occurred. BCDC has purchased the property. They've got it. It's all done. Of course, they entered a 25-year loan with the Arkansas Development Finance Authority. Y'all all know, council knows this, but remind everybody, 3% interest. The city, upon approval of the city council, has entered the lease agreement, just exactly like what we talked about. It's going to be 1 year that we're going to be paying like $100 a month. But then after that, for 2 years, we're going to split the amortization payments with ATMA. In other words, they're going to pay 50%, the city will pay 50%. And then theoretically, it'll kick in the full amount unless we make some other arrangements as time goes on. Our contract's for 1 year at a time with BCDC. That's done. Very pleased to get that finished. We've already had a meeting with the AEDC, that's Arkansas Economic Development Commission, some of their staff, and also a community developer with Entergy Corporation met with us because we're trying to update all of our sites that the state does, as well as what we put on our own website, with all of the buildings and land, some of which are privately owned, but also what the city owns, to get it all on that site, which includes this new acreage and what little we got left out at the industrial park, which is just a little less than 20 acres left out there. And also the old LaDonna building, just for an example, is also on that site. It's privately owned, but it's on there. And the mill, AHFP, we've got it on there now. That's still privately owned, and they've got a realty company that's trying to market that. So we're working everything and anything we got. And we're going to probably try to get even some commercial buildings, some bigger commercial type buildings on our sites too. So we're working on all of that. My latest information on Sky Blue Carbon, that's the company that we're still working with, trying to get through ADFA to take the old poultry plant building, as we usually refer to it. I think I told y'all last month I had just about thrown the towel in on that one because I just didn't think it was going to get done. But they're telling me they're hoping to close in August. So that looks like it's going to happen. They have brought back in Mr. Glenn Scherer, who was the original guy out of Florida that was trying to put this together. They had kind of parted ways. They decided they need him back.
So they're not gonna do that other, he's not gonna build that other?
No,
Okay.
but there's still a possibility of that
Okay.
through another company, but it's not near
No.
where this one is, okay?
Sure.
And so hopefully if that works out good, the biochar plant should employ 20 to 25 people, and then they say they still intend to double the production once they get it working. So I'm hopeful that the day will come, not too far down the road, that we'll have 50 new jobs there. Warehouser, you've been out on 278 East, it's underway. The plant, they're working on the grounds and everything now. That's probably 2 years away, roughly, from being built, being functional. But there will be approximately 200 new jobs out there. And I just want to remind the people of Warren, those jobs are going to be available for any of them that want to apply for it. And so we'll be keeping everybody informed on that as it goes. Anybody got any questions on anything there? Yes, sir, Mr. Tolfree.
Question, no comment. I was kind of distraught at the groundbreaking a little bit. But the thing about it is, I just want everybody to keep in mind, Dorothy, Zach Burks, Ms. Fuffa Fulton, Sandra Brown. That project was worked almost 30 years ago.
Yes, sir.
And
Talking about the intermodal effort to put the intermodal
Yes.
site together, yes.
and 7 o'clock morning meetings and 5 o'clock meetings. And I remember that big gala we had over there on the Mississippi River when we had all our federal people coming down, all the state people, and all our local people over to push that thing on. Economic development is not something that was done overnight. And for that project to take over 30 years, we had a steadfastness to stick to getting that done, and I just want to appreciate everybody that had something to do with it back then that didn't get recognized at the groundbreaking, because it wasn't something that just woke up last week to do. And it was a lot of naysayers when we first entered into that and entered our little money into that. And I just wanted to take my hat off to all the ones that stuck to it, and we finally got that done.
And the financial contributions.
Yes.
Well stated. Of course, the city of Warren had a 25% interest in that facility, and that included some money, not to mention just labor and what have you, but money. And of course, it was built to be an intermodal site. It's going to turn out to just be one big industry out there, what it's going to be, but that's okay. You know, it's got water and sewer and all that. Had some grant money, had some help from the federal government back in the days to get some of that done.
Even Jay Dickey.
Jay Dickey and Mike Ross and a number
Lance
of other
Lincoln.
people. Yes, yes. So,
And then there was other counties that want in on it, but we just didn't take them in.
so anyway, that's well stated. I appreciate that. All
At
right.
one point, it was stated we were gonna get a return in those dollars invested,
Well-
so we haven't heard that in a few years.
Well, again, I can address that just briefly. Once the Warehouser, that deal was made, we were under the understanding that they were gonna finance this plant, which is many millions of dollars, obviously, with tax exempt financing. Now, what that means is it's cheaper financing done with tax exempt bonds. Those bonds have to be sold by the cities and the counties, or one of them, in this case, Drew County. And the law requires when you finance something like that, and we have done that before in this community, then there would be a payment in lieu of taxes, because while you're paying off tax exempt bonds, no property taxes are paid on the property, the mill, the land, anything. The law has evolved over the years, state law, where it used to, that was just up to the company and the local governments to decide if they wanted to work something out. Now the law requires a certain amount of payment in lieu of taxes. That was going to be a 30-year payout, so what that meant is that the company would not be paying property taxes on that site until all those bonds were paid off in 30 years, or however long it took. So we were already having discussions about, theoretically, that sets in Drew County, but we thought it was only fair, and this is Monticello and Warren and Bradley and Drew County. We all been talking, we wanted to make sure that whatever the payment in lieu of taxes ended up being, that it was some way or the other shared between the four entities. Well, after all the deal was made, before any bonds were issued, the company came up with a more traditional financing mechanism, which, as we understand right now, means that they'll just simply go on the tax books. And the only two entities that's gonna get any, this is property taxes now I'm talking about. The only entities, there's gonna be two entities that's gonna get money out of this, tax money. Drew County and Drew County School District, because that is in the Drew County School District. Which means, no, we're not gonna get any property tax, neither's Monticello. Neither's Monticello, neither's Bradley County. Now, that's the way it stands right now, okay, as far as I understand it. Now, we'll see, we're keeping a watch on everything, because if they some way or another decide to do their financing with tax exempt financing, I promise you, we're gonna be having discussions about that again. We've already had them, and everybody had agreed that there ought to be some kind of divvying up of the payment in lieu of taxes, but if that's not what they do, then legally, there's nothing we can do about it. So the only thing I can say to the people of Warren, I still think we did the right thing, because there are gonna be 200 jobs.
Well, it'll be more than that eventually.
Yeah,
maybe
and
not in
hopefully
our
they'll be
lifetime,
doing
but,
some business with people in Warren and Bradley County, and of course, the logging community, it goes on and on and on, and there's gonna be some benefits and certainly job opportunities. But that's the way it works.
I have somewhere in some paperwork the total dollar amount, and it should be upstairs, but it was quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be a big operation, no question about it, and I still, that's what we were building the thing for, to try to, create jobs, and that's the way it's gonna work. Okay, oh, yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
My questions are not centered around anything that you've covered, but wanted an update on the baby box and also the solar.
Very good, I'll give you one on both. First of all, I've had some discussions on the baby box, everybody knows what you're talking about, I think. It would be, this was a project of some of our students at Warren High School. Project's moving along. Me and Mr. Clayton talked today because we got a big contractual agreement that he's reviewing for us to make sure the way everything's set up properly for the city's protection and so forth. We've decided that we need to have another meeting with Mr. Clayton and Peyton Reap, who is the teacher in charge of all this, so we can sit down and make sure everybody's on the same page as how this is going to function, because there's going to be an agreement with a nonprofit company that builds these things that will come in and install it. It has to be inspected every year. There's some things like that. Peyton assures me that they've raised all the matching money. And then some, because there is going to be an ongoing modest inspection fee every year to make sure that it's working. It's got to meet all kinds of legal requirements, because we're talking about something here that a person's going to walk up there and put a child, a newborn child in, and it automatically notifies the fire department or the dispatch center that there's a child in there. So you don't just go in there and leave it for hours and hours and hours. As soon as one's put in there, it's perfectly healthy, properly air, proper air and everything in it till the child's taken out, and of course we'll go to, I think, some division of Department of Human Services then comes in. This is being done all over the country. This is not something new, but the city council did approve it, so we are to the point of trying to get that contractual agreement set up, and it's quite lengthy and quite detailed, so Mr. Clayton, thank goodness, is helping us go through that to make sure everything's done the
So
way
we
it's
should have
supposed to be.
something maybe by next council.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. But the project is, moving ahead. And the kids have done a great job in raising the money. I'm going to put them in charge of all my fundraising in the future, because they've done a great
And
job.
apparently grant writing, because they got the grant.
They're doing good. The solar project. Once again, the hold up on getting that thing built has been the fact that the school district, if y'all remember, decided they want to put some of their facility out there beside ours at the industrial park. Theirs is much bigger than ours anyway. So y'all approved a deal for them to buy some land at a certain price per acre, and everybody agreed to that. Well, it's taken a while to get all that worked out with the school, but we received a check for, I believe it was $17,000. They didn't get as much land as we originally told you, about 7.5 acres, ends up being about 5. So we got $17,000, which we've got right now in our hands in the bank. And they're supposed to start, they're going to build both projects at the same time out there. The same people are going to build both of them. They'll be fenced in separately, but it'll be right there by each other. And it really shouldn't be a long, drawn-out thing in building it. I mean, this is not a real complicated thing to build these solar arrays. Once they do, of course, we anticipate a decent savings on our electrical costs. I remind you, just for city facilities. This is not to provide the public with electricity. Entergy does not think very highly of anything like that, and so the law doesn't allow us to, put everybody in town on their own system. Just this building, the police and fire building, anything the city owns that we're buying electricity for, we will get a cheaper electricity.
I know that, slated time was in 2025.
Well, they're still telling me they think they'll have this thing ready to go for the end of the year.
Okay.
Because it's not that hard to build it once they've got, everything ready to go. So, does that answer your question?
Yes,
That's
it does.
kind of, it's still very much going forward.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I want to mention a couple things on the grants, okay? We are applying for everything we can find out there for anything that could benefit the city. Our priorities right now are to try to get a grant from the state, the outdoor parks and recreation program. That's been in place for years. We've used it many times. We're trying to get money to really do a pretty good overhaul of the Warren Pool located over on Rock Street. Now, we're operating it right now, but y'all know it's been on a Band-Aid and a prayer for several years. And don't ever build a swimming pool and be responsible for having to pay for the upkeep of it and all. It's expensive. And we got to do some major repairs to it. I think, so with that's, we're working on that. It's not the deadline yet to turn it in. We hope to have this done for next year if we get funded, and we think we got a good chance. I've got a kind of a small grant through a private funding agency that we're going to try to get to do a little renovation to this room, to fix it up more like a real council meeting in place instead of a courtroom, which it no longer serves as. I think we've already got that submitted. It's not that much money, but anyway, it's a 100% thing. We don't have to match it. And then the other thing is the Cultural Center. And we're going to be applying for a grant for that. That's from the state. We're trying to get about $700,000-800,000, whatever we can get from them, as much as we can, to do some fairly major renovations, at least foundation, roofs, open air, try to get that place back in a decent and usable condition if we can. And that's what we're working on. That one is due the end of this month. I believe. Get that in. You also will have later on the agenda tonight, you will have this is for the Water and Sewer Department. They're applying for some repairs they got to make to our north water tank up here on the north side of town. But they have to go through us to even apply for the grant because it's a city-owned utility. So it's not something we've been directly involved in, but they're trying to get that done. And we're just keeping our eyes peeled for anything and everything else. I will again say publicly, grants are getting difficult. The federal government is cutting back drastically on a lot of different programs, wiping some of them out. I mean, wiping them out. I'm talking about things like FEMA, emergency management. So, you know, you have a storm, it's a little bit tougher than it was to get any money or any help. Things like that, and a lot of
But
other.
Arkansas was really blessed this last go around.
We were. And the Housing Authority is deeply concerned about what they're hearing may happen to them. We don't know for sure. Now, that don't affect our direct budget here, but remember, the Housing Authority is a city-owned facility also, just like the Water and Sewer Department or the airport or different things like that. And they are deeply concerned about some of the rent subsidies, the money that's spent for upkeep and maintenance. They are nervously watching. They don't have all the answers yet to what's going to be cut, but they're concerned about it. We've been in conversations with them. Any questions? We're going to do the best we can. Find everything we can find out there, but it's getting tough. And I think it's going to get tougher yet. And that don't even count what may happen to our hospital. Again, not our responsibility, but something that we are deeply concerned about because, you know, without a good hospital here, that hurts your economic development efforts. I mean, that's one of the things most of these companies want to know. Do you have good medical facilities? Not only doctors and nurses, but facilities. And if they do what they say they're going to do to Medicaid, it's going to hurt your nursing homes too. A lot of people are going to be paying a lot more for having grandma in the nursing home. But the hospital, a lot of projections are a lot of rural hospitals will not survive long term. Now, interestingly enough, most of these cuts don't happen until after the next election cycle. Just passing that on to you, but that's when it's fixed. That's when it's going to kick in. So anyway, that's everything I can tell you right now.
Then like Larry, you've been watching CNN.
Well, that and just, you know, trying to monitor other things as to what's going on. And some of this stuff is almost changing every day. I mean, it's like what our businesses are dealing with right now. They're being told one day there's going to be this tariff on, you know, Canada or Mexico or somebody. Next day you say, oh, never mind, we're not going to do that now. And then, you know, it just kind of keeps everything going up and down, but we just had to wait and see what all happens with most of it. Okay, the last item under Mayor's report is you got a little 2-page deal here, financial compliance report, looks like this, everybody got that? That is basically just the cover sheet of our audit for 2023. That audit, of course, was completed. We had a few, what I'm going to call minor things, which we always do. No serious findings, no money not where it's supposed to be, you know, nothing like that. This audit was reviewed by legislative audit on the 10th of July. We were not required to attend the meeting because they said they didn't need us to come up there because there wasn't any questions to be asked. It would just be presented. Now, that's not true for everybody in the world. A lot of communities, cities, counties, school districts, you know, when they got serious matters, they had to come in and answer to the state legislative audit committee. I personally called. I got a letter that said, you know, everything's fine, you don't have to come, but I called them anyway, and I said, I just want to make sure that, you know, it would be wise for us to be there. The guy said, please don't come, we don't need anybody else. So we did not have to attend, and audit's been approved, so everything's fine. I think y'all got a copy of the audit, did you not? I think they send those out to you individually. And I'm going to tell you why they do that. Because there are cities and counties and maybe a school board or two that they get those audits, and it's supposed to be presented to the city councils, or quorum courts or school boards. And the chief elected officials don't do it. They don't show it to them. They don't go over it with them. So the law says they are to be sent directly to each member, so you guarantee you get a copy of it. That's why that's done like that. All right, any questions on any of those things? I'm gonna get into our public comments. Anybody sign in, Charlotte? I think we were expecting
Yes.
somebody with.
Terrence Robertson.
Okay. Who's gonna speak? Okay, y'all guys, come on, just come down here. Oh, you're just getting up to let him out. I got you. I thought I was gonna get to hear from you. You will, Mr. Dexter. Come right around there, sir. Tell them who you are and who you're representing.
I'm Terrence Robertson. I'm with the Warren Wolfpack Motorcycle Club, and we was wanting to seek it. We blocked the one end of John C. Moss.
John Moss, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Y'all have a location there, don't you?
Yes.
Meeting place. When do you want to do that?
On June the 26th,
And for how long?
7 to 1.
7 p.m. to 1 in the morning.
July the 26th?
Yeah, July.
You're talking about next year?
From the railroad, from the rail tracks to Central.
No, it's a house right there. The last time they blocked, so they can get to their out of their drive. So it's like, yeah.
The central, yeah. It's just a short part of it technically, but, okay. Council members, y'all understand what he's asking for? I want to say we've done this before.
Yes, we have.
In past, so I don't see any reason. That's a area where it's easy to handle.
I move that we allow the blocking.
Second. I yield.
Okay, we'll give council member Perks Fraser that second.
And it is July 26th, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
July 26th, okay. I got a motion and a second. Is there any question or discussion on that motion? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. And we appreciate all the work y'all do too.
Okay.
You do a lot of good work, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We got anybody else signed? Nobody signed in, so, okay. I'm gonna move on. Item 7 is administrative and standing committee reports. Police chief. I heard somebody say for you to wake up. Are you out there taking a nap?
No, sir, no, sir, no, sir. I was deep in thought, deep in thought.
Gotcha. You're recognized, chief. They've got your written report.
Good evening, good evening. As the mayor said, you guys have a monthly report that pretty much depicts our activities through the month of June. There's really nothing more to report than what you have in front of you. Just business as usual. As you can see, we are still short quite a few patrolmen. I would like to report that I do believe that the officer that's out on the extended medical leave, we don't anticipate his return back to the police department. So that's going to make us another officer short, unfortunately. But everything else is as it is. Business as usual. We are still currently taking applications for dispatch and patrol. We are in the process of trying to get a civil service meeting put together so we do have an additional hire we want to hire for patrol, this is an uncertified officer. We have to send them to the academy. We're trying to get them hired, but the next academy class starts August the 17th. And so we're trying to get them hired in a civil service meeting and get them on board so they can attend the next academy class.
How many?
One, yeah. We're gonna send 2 to the academy. So one has already been hired, and the other was, like I said, we're trying to get a civil service meeting to get them on staff, on board and patrol to send to the academy by August 17th. So we'll be sending 2 to the academy, hopefully.
Questions for the chief on anything of his report or anything else? And we do have a police committee report to follow here, but anything else on his?
I do have a quick question. I didn't, Mr. Robinson, when he was in here, I didn't hear what day he wrote at those streets closed.
July
July.
26th.
By 26th.
26. 7
To one.
to 1.
To 1.
So we will need to,
Yes,
make sure y'all work with him on that, whatever needs to be done.
Hope that's it.
And it's not the whole street
Right,
necessarily,
right,
it's just part, they'll go along that with you.
Remind me how many officers you should have?
15, staff of 15.
We're very short, but we're probably 5,
7. We have to have about
never mind, 7. It means we're working a lot of overtime, but we need more police officers because, guys can only work so much overtime.
And I would like to piggyback off this, if I may. And this is our busy time of the year. The 4th of July weekend was a long weekend. Although we don't have any events during the Juneteenth, Wilmer does have a big June dinner, and we get a lot of through traffic here. And school's about to be right back in, so one of the officers reminded me. So if you see our guys, just give them an attaboy because they are working a lot of long hours.
Chief, I just thought of one other thing I think we need to make the council aware of, just as far as the report's concerned. The chief and myself and Mr. Hernsberger, our street foreman, and the high school superintendent had a about an hour-long Zoom meeting last week with 5 or 6 members of the staff of the Arkansas Department of Transportation Highway Department, trying to figure out what we can do about the traffic situation on North Martin Street at the entrance and exit of the school. It seems like the only people that really think we got a problem is us, but we know we do. And our patrons of the school district certainly experience it, because as y'all all know, all of our schools are over there on that campus now. Never had been like that in my lifetime, but they're all there, so there's a lot of traffic, especially in the mornings as people are bringing kids to school, the buses are running, and then when they let them out. That's the big areas. We had asked for the department to take a look at this some months back. We think it needs some signalization put up to help safely and a little bit smoother run the traffic. Of course, we're constantly being asked to have manpower out there. It's just direct traffic, and we try to help as much as we can. But guys, we can't patrol and to cover everything that's coming in every day, and still, have somebody sitting out there for at least a couple of hours, twice a day. It's just the manpower's just in there to do it. We're trying to help where we can. So we asked the highway department to look at it. They did some traffic counts, all kinds of stuff, and told us there wasn't any justification for a signalization out there. I went back to them again, and basically dealing with our district engineer over at Camden, who oversees our area, and he's extremely cooperative. This is not him making these decisions. But he told me to make another request. So I wrote him another letter and said, thank you for what you've done, but we don't agree with you. And we think this needs to be looked at again. That's what led to this meeting. They are still insistent that it does not justify signalization out there. And besides that, it costs a lot. Now, the way these signal lights work, council members, and I think y'all know this, we got signals several places in town on state highways. All those are installed by the highway department. Paid for, installed by them. Once they're put in, the city, if it's in the city limits, we do have to maintain them. In other words, if something breaks down, we have to bring somebody in and fix it. Lights burn out, we have to replace them. That's what we were asking to be done here. So they have agreed to take a little bit more of a look at it, but I think they're more interested, and just told free, I want you to know this, they're more interested in y'all changing up the way your traffic goes in and out. That's kind of what I got from them, than they are of having signals put in. But we are still working on that, because school will be starting back here before. It's not too bad right now with no school going on, but that's going to happen again very soon. We had a friendly but Chief, I think we were,
Call it non-productive.
we were firm in what we kept telling them, but, you know, I can't make them do it. But anyway, I just want y'all to know that's being worked on. I know the school board is very much concerned about it, because I've heard from a number of them, as well as, of course, talking to the superintendent on a regular basis. We're trying, it's a problem.
It's a huge.
And then on
problem.
top of everything else, y'all know there's gonna be a major truck stop going in just north of there, which we're happy about, big, nice, new business, but, you know, probably more traffic. And I'm talking about big trucks and everything else, so,
Well,
just
what
want y'all to
the
know.
public is doing, because I was, you know, carrying our granddaughter, they were, out of courtesy, stopping so that people could go in and out when the police was not there. That is very dangerous.
I know,
Very,
I know.
very dangerous.
It's just, it's too much traffic.
In your
At one time.
conversation with the superintendent and those that were in attendance, did you mention having a monitor there, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, and how
That-
was that received
Not well.
from the school?
From the superintendent didn't think it'd work. Am I saying that right? He didn't think it would. Talking about getting non-law enforcement,
We get
that did come up.
It did come up.
They have that, you know, and again, I mean, there are cars, I mean, there's 2 lanes, and someone will stop, and then someone will stop here. I mean, they're monitoring for themselves, these parents,
I'm sure.
are probably grandparents, you know, because, so that you can get in and out, because it's so congested. It's very dangerous.
Yeah, I'm about to cut you off, but to answer your question, I think what the superintendent stated was, remember, he wanted to hire some of our off-duty officers to work, and I explained to him, we're short-handed.
We don't have any off-duty officers that really we can.
I don't think these are off-duty
No,
people
I
that's
understand.
doing it. They have like their little, like, just like, you know.
Crossing guard.
Crossing
Yeah,
guard,
yeah, that's the term. Yeah.
We did mention that, something like the parent-teacher association, parents or would volunteer, something of that nature, but that would be left up to the school and parents and teachers, I think.
We understand that it would be left up to the school, but I guess my point was, did that come up in conversation?
Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
And I think the person that brought it up was the police chief in the city of Warren.
Okay.
We
As
just
I
don't have the
recall.
manpower, right? We just don't have the manpower.
He did suggest that they look at something like that.
Well, last year, there were a number of wrecks out there when school first started.
Okay. Wanted y'all to know what's going on there, okay? We're trying. Chief, you got anything else? Any other questions for the chief? I'm gonna turn it over to the chairman of the police committee, Councilmember Burks Frazier. She's got a few items there.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'll turn it over to you.
So the police committee met, Emily Mosley, myself, and Miss Atkins was there. Miss Atkins was, called in. First thing we discussed was the license plate reader policy
I'll do that.
is it in the packet? That, every city that uses the flock cameras has to have. And it shows what our policy's gonna be for the license plate readers. We do have a camera installed, one, is that right?
Actually, two.
2 now, where's the second? Where are they?
The ones at the license plate reader out on Monticello Highway, and we have one also at the, one of the New Family Dollar on the corner of Pine and Mark.
Okay, so we've got 2 installed, and again, they are license plate readers. They're not looking in your car for invading privacy. And the flock cameras are linked, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, they're linked to all the other flock cameras in Arkansas,
In the nation.
in the nation. So if we've got somebody leaving Monticello, and our license plate reader can pick it up and vice versa.
Right.
And we've got 3 more cameras to be installed.
Yes, ma'am.
Total of 5. So we just looked over the license plate reader policy. Do we have to make a motion to pass that?
Yes.
Okay,
It's just a policy, but you need to approve it, yes.
okay. And then, I'll come back and we'll do that. Then the lieutenant position and sergeant positions and corporal positions, right?
Yes, there's a handout in there too.
Okay, so, and we're gonna add, if you'll add the corporal positions, number 4 on your agenda. Okay, so the police chief has 3 officers for an increased step that's going from, into lieutenant position,
Lieutenant position, CID sergeant.
CID sergeant, and then he has 4 going from patrolman to corporal. Okay, so I make a motion that we, pass the step increase for the lieutenant position and CID sergeant and the 4 corporals.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. This is a recommendation from the police committee. Motion made and seconded. Any question or discussion of the motion? Basically, these are kind of like promotions is what they are, and that,
Not very much in salary.
nope, not a lot. All in favor of the motion, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. Thank you. Go back, council member.
Okay, and then I make a motion that we accept the license plate reader policy that is found in your packet.
Second.
That's motion and appropriately seconded. Is there any question or discussion about that? If you need a little time to look at it, I'll certainly give it to you. Committee has recommended it be approved.
Call for the vote.
Okay, all those in, I did get a motion, didn't I? Yeah, motion second. All those in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, none opposed. Thank you.
That's it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Chief, I think that takes care of it.
Thank you.
All right. Tell the fire chief to come in now, please. Chief Moore, you got your monthly reports. Tell them anything you need to tell them.
We had 10 total calls for the month. 1 vehicle fire, 1 personal fire, it turned out to the entire department. At our monthly meeting on June the 2nd, 20 members present, we replaced the hose on engine 1 with some larger supply hose. And we tested all the pumps on all 3 engines on the ladder truck, and everything passed for another year.
Does anybody have a question? Any council member have a question for the chief? It don't have to be on what he was talking about, it can be anything you need to ask him about the fire department, but anything on his report or anything else you need to bring up. Mr. Toll-free, we're not seeing anything under your committee.
I was gonna say, I was gonna get with the committee members and have a meeting this coming month.
Very good, very good. Just kind of a educational meeting with nothing else, we go over some things, right? Thank you. All right. All right, I'm gonna move on, try to speed things up here. Sanitation manager, Mr. Johnson. And he's got stuff in your packet on both building code and sanitation, so
Yeah, any questions I'll be
you may
glad to
want
answer.
to, 2 or 3 sheets there, I don't know exactly what order all of them's in, but I'm noticing like on sanitation, we've removed 6 more automobiles.
Yes, sir.
Last month. These are the automobiles that are what I call junk automobiles, ones people just have sitting in their yards, don't run, not licensed. That makes us something over 150 in the last
Oh, yes, sir.
year, or maybe a little bit better. 43 houses, we picked up limbs during the month of June. 33 houses, we picked up junk. And been working on about 3 more property cleanups, and apparently got some results on
Yes,
some
we
of
did.
those.
Yes, sir.
That's sanitation. Now, council member, you got anything else you want to mention?
No, that is not.
I have a
Council
question.
member Atkins, you.
I have a question before I go
Sure,
in.
sure.
Did you get to sell the equipment?
It goes off auction tomorrow at 5.
Okay,
No, tomorrow at 8, sorry.
okay,
And it, as of right now, it's not doing as good as we had hoped.
all right,
But the last hours will tell the real thing.
okay.
Anything else, Rod, you want to mention on sanitation?
No, sir.
Councilmember Atkins, chairperson of the sanitation committee, I know y'all met. Would you like to give any kind of report on that meeting?
Yes, I'll give a very brief update. We met on July the 7th. All were in attendance. Mr. Johnson gave us an update on our transition to our one-day pickup and our 90-gallon cans. We're still on track to have them delivered in September with partial implementation by October, we hope.
We hope.
As he has done some research, thought we were gonna be able to do 3 times a week, but we're really gonna end up doing a 5-day-a-week pickup throughout the city. Still once a day, once a week, but, pick up 5 times a week. Also, he's, building capacity with our transfer station, so right now we have El Dorado, Ashley, and we're in works with Pine Bluff.
Yes, ma'am.
So he's been working. And then, we have the new, recycling center up and running on Everett Street. Got the signs up, so tell everybody to take their cardboard boxes over there, behind the senior citizen center. And that was pretty much our, so free, did I miss anything?
No, you didn't?
Might I just make sure everybody understands one thing, she was talking about the plans on the residential pickup now, that's what we're talking about. We're gonna pick up every residence 1 time a week, just like we had talked about doing. As Rob's looked at this more and more and more, that's what he talked to the committee about, we think we're gonna try to break the town up instead of 3 or 4.
Instead of 2, what we have now.
We're gonna have 5 different routes. They'll obviously be smaller. We're still gonna save money because we're not gonna, not gonna be doubling that in mileage and all that stuff every week. And the main reason for that is the fact that our transfer station, this is the class 1 garbage that we pick up at everybody's house and a lot of businesses. Our transfer compactor that we haul it all out there to then pack it into these big units that go to the landfill. Now, Ashley County, we deliver that ourselves, just in our own trucks. But what we're carrying to El Dorado and other places that we have to, that thing is about seeing its day. That's just to make it real simple. It's extremely expensive to try to repair, and an estimated cost on replacing it,
It'll run in excess of
$150,000. That's not gonna work, and the problem is, if we have too much garbage, we keep, having compact garbage, we're limited in our ability to do that on a daily basis. So you end up having to dump garbage on the ground out there at the transfer station, and the state will not tolerate that. I'm just telling you. So what we just feel like we can do to have the 5 routes, we're still going to save money because we're cutting down on mileage. We're even cutting down on some manpower. We've had some people leave us, which is another story, but people that are throwing garbage bags. We had 2 quit in the middle of the workday in the last week or 2 weeks. And just said it was too hot to do that kind of work. We give them breaks, as many as they want and need, but these were new people, just been hired, and they just said, I'm not going to do this for any price. And they literally walked off on us during the day. Just said, I'm going. Left. Had somebody come get them. We got everything covered, but we'll still save on both manpower and truck cost and mileage by doing this, but we will be picking something up each day under this new system, and that way we could keep the garbage moving. Not get piled up with our ability to compact the garbage, because when that thing finally does die, we're done, or we got to come up with $150,000, and I'm guessing more than that. That's what equipment costs now. So we're just gonna be going where we're just transporting it ourselves, basically what we're gonna do if that thing quits. So, that's the reason. There is a logical reason behind this. Anybody got any questions? Council member, you got anything else you
No,
want
sir.
to say or
That concludes,
ask or anything?
that concludes my report.
Thank you. Hit the building official. Rob, what you think there? You got a thing
Everything-
about how many permits you sold?
Yeah,
all
we're
that?
up about $3,500 this year compared to this time last year on fees. Evaluation's a little lower, but the fee income's a little higher. Evaluation of the projects are lower, but the dollars in fees are up about 3,500. So having a lot of little projects done, which is good. So,
All right, you got that written report, you got any questions on that? That covers electrical permits, plumbing permits, building permits. Okay, do you have any new properties that we need to take, the council needs to act on?
not at this time.
All right, give an update on the current condemnation list, which is, I think, 4 properties.
The 4 properties, I would say, in just a real short manner, is all of them would be within 75 to 80% of compliance. All of them. So we're continuing to work with all of them, and they are all making progress. So that's basically all I can tell you.
We think we're close enough on those 4 that we're going to hold off issuing any citations and give them just a little bit more time to try to wrap it up because they have made enough progress. I also want to just thank some people. I don't have a bunch of names, but I know the one on Rock Street has received a lot of help from individuals in the community, and I want to thank everybody that's been involved with helping that particular individual. And the others we're making some progress. Good progress. It's just not quite finished. We'll tell you though, there'll be some new ones coming to you sometime in the near future. Okay, because we got several that we're still in the process of making initial notifications and trying to see what we can get worked out before we bring them to you. Questions on any of that? That's items under G, building official. That's the 3 items there. Got any questions on any of them?
I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, with, properties not being in compliance, okay, does that only apply to exterior? For example, if you were given, a report that someone's house is not fit to live in, the dwellings inside the home, and, it's been reported. And, the police have even checked it out. What, is it anything that falls under where they could be served a citation and given a certain length of time to clean up their home and the inside if it's not fit to live in?
That's a delicate situation right there as far as my department's concerned. If there was anything such as that would be considered unhealthy, we would call in the state. Especially if there was kids involved, we'd call in DHS. But as an individual, it would be very difficult if you're sleeping in a house that doesn't have a floor, it would be very hard for me to make you put a floor.
You can call.
We have
Health
several
Protective
residents in the city
Services.
limits that don't even have water. But
I mean,
it's
they
not-
got access to it. It's
it's
just
not-
been cut off because they don't pay the bill.
But it's not per se against the law not to have water. And it's not against the law to be homeless, and it's not against the law to not have electricity. So you gotta carry a fine line.
Council member, are you also referring to maybe repairs that might need to be made inside the house? Or,
I'm sure that.
but are you talking about mainly health and safety
I'm
type
really
stuff?
concerned, I'm talking about health and safety where, it's just a place that would be just not livable, that, feces and rodents are everywhere, and, the person's mental health is not,
If I got a complaint like that, I would contact the state.
Now, who, you say the state, who
Yeah,
you talking about, the health department?
Our Department of Health.
Or I guess you could let us know and we can contact them.
Yeah.
I mean, we do that.
Adult
Yeah.
Protective Services.
Yeah, protective services.
Yeah.
There's several different.
And in this particular case, all of the above have been contacted,
Oh, okay.
yes.
But I mean, the point's very well made. We've got people living in some pretty tough conditions, in Warren. Like Rob said, no water. Of course, if you don't have water, I mean, it's cut off. No, of course, they don't have any wastewater, facilities when that happens. And, of course, in a lot of cases, no electricity. But, water and sewer is the big issues that we're more concerned about. But nevertheless, it is a situation. And on top of that, just a lot of the condition of the homes. I'm talking about roofs and, leaking water and just all, I mean, some bad. And, theoretically, I don't know what all we can do in some of those cases, but of course you're dealing with, in some cases here, people that probably don't have the income to do some of the things that needs to be done. But then we've also got some that tell us to mind our own business, because that's the way they want to live. I've had that said to me on more than one occasion. This is my place and I'll have it like I want it. And most of it goes back to some, other issues, as you well know.
but thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I don't really have a good answer for you in some of it, but I understand what you're saying. All right, I'm gonna try to move along. Speak up if somebody's got a question or something. I think that takes care of you, Rob, unless there's something else that
Okay.
I overlooked. We're ready for the street foreman. Hello?
Yes,
Mr. Hernsberger?
how y'all doing?
Give them a very thorough but short street report.
Okay, we patching potholes, boot holes, spray, tweak. Even though it's compliant.
Trained me better than I thought I had. That's okay. We are doing a lot of spraying of weeds, even in street ditches. We've taken the approach that, and these are ditches that'll still drain. Of course, we have to clean some of them out from time to time. But, a lot of people that live along streets with ditches, they keep it cut themselves or weed eat it or what have you. And I'm telling you, a lot of people do not. And we can't mow every street ditch in town every 2 weeks. We physically cannot do it. So we're going out where people are not maintaining them, and we're putting out, the equivalent of Roundup and killing it. And there's a lot of it. We're just doing that to try to, quite frankly, I think it looks better when it's killed than it does grown up, 2 foot tall. So we're trying to do that. Any questions for Mr. Hernsberger? We are, Monty, expecting the guy from the Highway Department down tomorrow. Y'all remember back sometime we got a grant for $300,000. Highway Department, I think this was Fullerton Street, Cook Street, or parts of them, and South Bradley that was approved. State bid, they take the whole thing. They bid it out. We don't have anything to do with it, and they pay for the paving. Well, they got bids on what we had. They gave us $300,000, and it ended up being $380-something thousand. So y'all considered this sometime back, and we could make up the difference, but I think the council's decision at that time was just cut the project down to $300,000 because you didn't want to use other monies that you've got that you're hoping to do some other things with. in the not too distant future. So he's coming in to look at what we're trying to work out and determine what's the, the most needy part of those streets to get them re-overlaid. We're gonna get the money, we're gonna get the work done, but it just won't be quite as much as we had anticipated doing because of the cost. And he's coming to visit with you tomorrow, the guy that runs that program, that's the highway department. Questions for the street foreman? Anything that you need to ask him or call his attention? Okay, let's get the street committee, Councilmember Atkins, are you supposed to be giving that report?
Yes, Councilmember Mosley asked you to report. We have 4 items under the street committee. Start with item number 1, guidelines for dedication of streets in your packet. You have a proposal from the street committee, and I'll just quickly highlight some of the criteria that we have. And the reason we decided we needed an ordinance or something in place so that we can be consistent. So if you notice, it should be, where it says subject, proposal of established criteria, procedures for dedicating instead of naming or renaming. Because that's what we did on Abernathy Street. We dedicated the street. So we pretty much kind of started a procedure already. So it's dedicating streets. The criteria, we have 3. Exceptional service, demonstrate significant positive and lasting contributions to Warren through civic leadership, volunteerism, public service, philanthropy, or cultural enrichment. Residency or connection, have resided in Warren for a minimum of 25 years, and then practical considerations. So if you're, the street that's being dedicated isn't going to cause any confusion, public safety, postal delivery, or just chaos within the public. The recommendation for, or how to recommend somebody, well, a nomination from a citizen, from any Warren citizen, city official, or an organization. We would like to have a biographical summary of the contributions and the justification by 500 words, about 2 paragraphs. And a petition signed for or against everyone that's on that street. So every person that is a resident on this street, we want to know, are you for or against it? And then we'll bring that back to the street committee. We've committed to having that done within 2 council meetings. That's why it's 60 days, so that there can be public comment when it's first presented to us. And then the council will make a decision, and finally, we will get the sign in order, and the city will take care of the fee for that, have a small ceremony. So that's what we have before you.
So, y'all want to adopt that policy, is that what you're recommending
Yes.
be done? And we don't have an ordinance.
Don't have to be an ordinance, just a policy.
I think just a policy's fine on this. That's up to y'all, we don't have an ordinance prepared, but I think if you approve the policy, we'll have it on record, and that'll be the policy until it's changed.
So,
Just a motion to
I would
adopt
like
the
to move
policy.
that we adopt a policy for dedicating streets.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Is there a question or discussion? Is there a motion, there's a motion second, is there any discussion of the motion to adopt the policy is laid out, you've got a copy, I think, over there. All in favor, show of hands. I see, wait a minute, let me see your hands. All in favor, show of hands. I see 1, 2. All right, that is not sufficient. All opposed?
Okay.
Okay, so that's turned down. Now
Questions,
the
considerations?
committee can, bring something else back.
We'll bring it back.
If you wanted to, but that was, because it's not an ordinance or anything, it's just a proposed policy, so if you want to bring something different back, you can, or, get any other suggestions.
Please send me your suggestions, or not me, just Emily.
Do you have anything on these other items?
I could skip down to number 4 because we tabled that. Ms. Councilmember Mosley received a request to put up a deaf child sign, and the citizen that requested that wasn't able to come to the committee meeting, so we tabled that. We wanted a little bit more information. And item 2 and number 3, I'm going to default that back to Monty,
Okay.
to Mr. Hernsberger.
So
to
that'll
explain.
just stay in the committee till y'all come up with here's what we recommend, or,
For the sign, yes.
yeah, okay. No, I was talking about the street drainage improvements, Kelly
Well,
and Bragg and the
He
truck
can
route.
give the council an update of what you explained to us.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Talking about putting the culverts in, I think, versus the,
cheap out.
yeah.
I talked with a local contractor, and the culvert with the widening, it will give us actually a little more room on the intersection, would be better overall, will be the cheaper route to go than the cheap piling, which will give us maybe a foot and a half, and the culvert will give us 5 to 6 foot. Plus, it's from what I understand, it's going to be considerable cheaper, $10,000 or so cheaper than the cheap piling. Which when I say cheap piling, I mean just shoring up the ditch on Bragg. That if we do the culvert side, we'll actually take in part of the Kelly on both sides of Bragg, and it will give us more turning room.
Does the committee have a recommendation on that, or is that just still pending for y'all to?
It's still pending.
Okay, so that's, y'all just for information then, and the same thing about the truck route ordinance, just, y'all haven't made a recommendation on that, correct?
No.
Okay. All right, they'll stay there. Thank you, appreciate the report. That's all we had, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Monty.
Thank you.
Parks and Rec, Mr. Wagman. Y'all have a copy of his report. Anything you want to mention, they got your written report.
Nothing new. I would like to thank Mr. Monty and the street department. They came over to the pool, I don't know if you noticed it. He cleared out a bunch of trash in the bench row and stuff like that for us, so I do want to thank them. It looks a lot better, so I did want to thank them for that.
Council member Burks Frazier had to leave. We've had a pretty good summer of attendance at the pool, have we not? Maybe
Yes, sir.
better than we've had in a while.
She was gonna give a report, but I guess she left. She was going.
All right, y'all, any questions on anything? He's kind of got it broke down to everything we have there, giving you a little information. Everybody satisfied with that? You want to ask? Okay. All right, let's go to Community Economic Development Committee, Council Member Hooper, Chairman. I know you've been kind of out of pocket, the committee hadn't been able to meet. You want to make any comments?
Only comment, sir, is that, we will meet and we will have, some reports in.
Very good, thank you. Y'all can see what's on the agenda there, so those things are pending. Ways and Means Committee, Councilmember Henderson, Chairperson.
Thank you. If you will refer back to the minutes from our last meeting, there was the discussion of the tenure bonuses that we did not pass, and we do have a recommendation for that. But I wanted you to look on page 4 of the minutes just for clarity. Listed on our agenda is the new revenue for safety, the 2025 employee raises, tenure bonuses, of which we did not move forward with at our last meeting, and the personnel policy. The committee met on July the 1st. All of our committee members were in attendance, and we do have a motion that I would like to make on number 3. We're still leaving on the agenda number 1 and number 2. Number 3 would be the tenure bonuses. I did share with you the total number by years, and I will do that again. For 20 years and over, we have 4, and for 15 years and over, we did not have any. For 10 years and over, we had 3, and 5 years and over, 10. The dollar amount for the 20 years over and over was $800. 15 years and over, $600, 10 years and over, $500, and 5 years and over, $400. I move that the Warren City Council give the tenure bonuses for 2025 to include the FICA and retirement total amount of $10,698.39.
That's an appropriate motion. Is there, and a committee recommendation, is there a second?
Second. How are you?
I think he beat you to it, Councilmember
It's fine.
Atkins, so I'm gonna give you the second, but, unless you just want it.
Give it to him.
All right, seconded by Councilmember Tollfree. Is there, everybody understand what the motion is? And this would be approving these bonuses based on the years of service. Question or discussion? All in favor, show of hands. I see 4 in favor. That with 2 absent, that is sufficient.
I would also like to make a motion that we add an extra category of 25 years or more to assist with longevity, getting our employees to stay, to help with morale, etc. And that amount be $1,000. I move that we add to our tenure bonus the 25 years or more in the amount of $1,000.
Okay. Motion's appropriate. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Now, will this affect people this time around?
Yes, and when we get to the personnel,
Okay,
maybe
okay.
update it.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right, got a motion and a second. We're basically creating another category here and set the amount of money. Any question or discussion to that motion? Okay, all those in favor, show of hands. I see 4 in favor, 2 absent, so it passes.
And that one would also include the FICA retirement taxes, would be the cost of the city. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the personnel policy. And what we did as a committee, we looked at the tenure bonus, the Christmas bonus, and the cost of living, since that was silent as it related our personnel manual. And I do have a hard copy, but I would just like to first read what we agreed upon. The City of Warren may recognize employees for their years of service dedicated to city government. Eligible employees will be awarded an annual lump sum 10-year career service recognition payment bonus, Christmas bonus, and cost of living increase depending upon the city's revenue as determined by the city council. Any full-time city employee who is elected to an elected office is eligible for the bonus, combining their years of service. So that would clear up if you were an employee and then you became an elected official, which meant that you would combine those years of service. Should a full-time employee or full-time elected official leave city government and return to a full-time position, or as a full-time elected official, the employee or elected official total years will be combined to determine the total number of years. Say, for example, Jane Doe left, had 15 years of service. Jane Doe is rehired, comes back, that tenure would remain with the person, it just doesn't go away. So I move that what I just shared be added to the personnel manual as it related the tenure bonus for someone in a regular position going into an elected position, combining their years of service, as well as a full-time employee that serves us and comes back, we will add their years of service together. That is my motion.
I second.
Motion second, made and seconded. Is there a question? Everybody understand?
Question. So if an employee, there's no gap, so I've worked for the city for 15 years, I leave for 5, I come back, I'm back at 15?
You come back at 15, but it continues to grow. It will be 15 and then going forward. For example, I worked for the Department of Workforce Services for 20 years. I left and I left them and I went to the Department of Human Services. My tenure stayed with me. It did
You
not
still
turn
work for the state?
I work for the state. This is still working for the city government.
Okay, so I understand. You went from
You went from an employee in the mayor's office,
Mhm.
and then you ran for the position of full-time city attorney. Then you're,
those are combined,
yes,
and then vice versa?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
because it read, to me, I heard if I left my position, like I didn't work for the city anymore and I came back. Okay,
Should a full-time employee,
okay.
that was the term. Call for the vote.
Okay, we got a motion second on that, right? Okay, any other discussion or question? Vote's been called for, but I don't want to cut anybody off. Make sure you understand what we're doing. Okay, all in favor, show of hands, please. That is 4 in favor, 2 absent. That is
We also looked at the Christmas bonus, since we were dealing with updating the personnel manager manual as it related things that were actually silent in the manual. And we would like to leave everything as is, as it relates what we will be recommending, but we would like to add another category with 25 years or more, and that amount be $800. This would not go in the personnel manual, but that it would be for a policy that we would have something in place as it related someone that was with us for 25 years or more. So that is my motion to include the category of 25 years or more in the amount of $800.
Okay, motion's made. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, now, I think I'm a little confused. I thought we'd already in the previous motion had added that 25-year category.
That was for the tenure bonus. This is for Christmas.
Okay. Basically what we're doing here is putting in the personnel policy about these bonuses in general, what we've been doing other than the 25-year deal. That's something different. That's basically what you're doing, is putting that in the personnel policy.
Not the dollar amounts, just
You should
but
put-
yes,
yeah.
and I'm gonna give you all a copy of it.
Okay, all right, everybody got that?
And that would also include the FICA and retirement taxes in that particular category as well.
Question or discussion?
I did.
Okay, ready to vote? All in favor, show of hands. I see 4 in favor.
And
Sufficient.
the sheet for the personnel manual, under Christmas bonus, the city of Warren may recognize employees and elected officials with a Christmas bonus. Eligible employees and elected officials may be awarded an annual lump sum Christmas bonus depending upon the revenue as determined by the city council. And for the cost of living, the city of Warren may recognize full-time, part-time employees and elected officials with a cost of living. Eligible employees will be awarded cost of living increase depending upon the city's revenue as determined by the city council. So it's kind of self-explanatory. The money is not there. It is a part in our manual.
Council's still gonna have to approve
That's
doing this
exactly-
regardless,
as-
yeah, each
as
time, yeah.
approved by. So, I move that the updates that I just shared be added to the City of Warren Personnel Manual.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Is there any other discussion or question? Just dealing with each of these individual time periods that we've traditionally been doing, but's not required, but putting it in the policies.
Call for the vote.
All in favor, show of hands. I see 4 in favor, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. Okay, is that everything, Councilmember Henderson?
That is it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna go very rapidly through these boards and commissions. Parks and Recreation, this is item 8 on your agenda. Parks and Rec hadn't met. I do wanna tell you that now this is not your packet, but we've received a request or an agreement between the City of Warren and the University of Arkansas at Monticello. They are creating a college shooting team. Our high school already has that. A lot of schools, high schools do. Apparently, a lot of the colleges are now beginning to do that. They're gonna create one for UAM. They want our shooting range to be not only where they practice, but also, you should say, their home field. Thank you. We need the council to review this. It's a several-page memorandum of agreement. Of course, it's based on a 1 year at a time thing, 1 school year at a time, 1 city year at a time. And I would like to assign that to one of the committees. Now, it could go to 2 different places. I'm gonna run it by the Parks and Recreation Commission too, but from the city council's perspective, I really think it probably would be maybe a Ways and Means, because they put a money figure in there, what they're willing to pay us for this, and see if that's satisfactory with the council. It could go to Community and Economic Development, I'm not sure where else.
I make a motion, send it to the Ways and Means Committee.
You got it.
Second.
Y'all like to work those numbers?
Motion's made and seconded. Yes. Question or discussion to assign this to the Ways and Means Committee. All in favor, show of hands. I see 4 in favor. Thought I was gonna have to cast that 4th vote there for a minute. All right, Planning Commission, you don't have anything from them. Aviation Commission, they've got a meeting set, but no report tonight. Water and Sewer, you have got, minutes. Sure, I'm looking at, I already moved. Yeah, you got a copy of the minutes of May 16th, 2025 from the Water and Sewer Commission. You've got their financial report, which is in there, and you've got their 2024 audit. Now, you don't have to act on this, but it's just for your information. It's a full audit of the water and sewer department, and that's there for y'all, the information. Now, this is a proposal, a resolution, proposed number 704, resolution. And it concerns trying to get a grant by the Water and Sewer Department, and it's, as I mentioned earlier in the meeting, to work on the north tank. Believe it or not, that tank needs to be raised. Because and the question I asked was, how in the world do you do that? Well, they go down to the bottom and they raise all the legs and put new pieces in. The reason it needs to be raised is because the elevation that tank is causing trouble filling up our southern tanks. Always has for years and years. And we want to be able to fill all of them to capacity, keep them that way. So I'm going to read proposed resolution 704, a resolution of Arkansas Community System Grant Program for the Warren Water and Sewer Commission Whereas a resolution authorized the mayor of the city of Warren to apply for a grant on behalf of the Warren Water and Sewer Commission, whereas the Warren City Council has determined that Warren Water and Sewer Commission meets eligibility requirements necessary to apply for a grant in the Arkansas Community Assistance Grant Program, whereas the Warren Water and Sewer Commission has presented plans to raise Warren's north elevated water tank approximately 13 feet higher to match the optimum hydraulic grade line of their distribution system. Whereas the city concurs with its importance, supports the Water and Sewer Commission is ever to proceed with the same, whereas the city of Warren has furnished proof, this is the Water and Sewer Commission now, not us, that they have raised or have available $162,268.20 through community cash or in-kind donations to be applied to the project. That's as a local match. Be it resolved that the mayor of the city of Warren is hereby authorized to submit an application of formal request to the Arkansas Economic Development Commission for purpose of securing state grant funds in the amount of $649,072.80 to aid and assist the Warren Water and Sewer Commission in executing the proposed project described herein. The mayor of the city of Warren is further authorized to administer the grant funds for the same project.
Move that we approve resolution A 704.
Second.
Question and discussion of the motion to adopt the resolution. All in favor, show of hands. I see 4 in favor. That is sufficient. Thank you. Housing Authority, you do have minutes of their last meeting, just for your information. You've also got the Cultural Center. This is just the monthly financial report. Again, no activity going on, but got a few expenses there. Unfinished business, we do not have any listed that we were aware of. Under new business, you got 2 different things here, but 2 different streets, but we got a request for a speed bump on Bond Street. This would be Bond from Seminary over to Walnut, somewhere in that area there. And the other one, I'm just gonna go ahead and put them both out here. Speed bump on Jolly Street. This is on the west side of Bradley County Medical Center, which is the front door technically to the hospital. I got a petition on the Bond Street one. I've got a letter from Bradley County Medical Center. I don't think there's any residents, maybe on the corner of Jolly and Church Street, but not any houses that face the street. So you've got those, and I would recommend you put both of them in the street committee.
I make a motion, we refer to the street committee.
All right, motion, Alderman Toll-Free, seconded by Alderman, Councilmember Henderson. Any question or discussion? That covers both of them. Put them both in the committee. All in favor, show of hands. I see 4 in favor. That's sufficient. Anybody got an announcement of any kind? We didn't have anything. I think y'all got a deal here. Does that need to be announced?
First day of school, August 11th.
When is it?
August 11th.
Please don't
You
remind
have
me.
it?
You would be keeping up with that, wouldn't you?
You said it was the 19th.
It's the 11th?
Y'all don't get to the 19th?
No, I'm reading off the internet.
Oh, 19th, good to know.
This is my school.
School's about to start, everybody. All
We
right.
got the 5th annual back to school giveaway. It's gonna be at the West Side Pool this year. It's gonna be scheduled on August the 9th, from 10 to 2 p.m. And I have contacted the churches from last year and all the organizations from last year, and everybody has been responding in great numbers. So just keep listening and check it on Facebook. But August the 9th at the West Side Pool from 10 to 2. Children come out and get school supplies. Parent or guardian has to be present in order for them to get these school supplies. And then they'll be able to swim and have a good time free.
Yeah.
Everything's free.
Okay. You said August the 9th.
August the 9th,
I guess that's on there, but from 10 to 2?
10 to 2.
Okay.
It's on the flyer.
Okay, thank you. You got the bills for June 2025 in your packet.
Move that we pay the bills.
Second.
Think Alderman, saying Alderman all of a sudden, Councilmember Atkins beat you just by a hair on that second.
Well, I never.
That's right, that's what it is.
All right, question or discussion on the bills? Everything we've spent for the month is on there, so we can look at it and see. All in favor of approval, show of hands, please. I see 4 in favor. The next meeting, without a change being made, would be the second Monday of August, which is the 11th. Agenda meeting being on August the 7th at 7 a.m. Any question or discussion about that? Don't have to vote on it, just telling you that's what's going on. And now, without further ado, we're finished. I declare the meeting adjourned. Thank y'all.
What did you want?
Take care, Rob. See you later. Have a good one.
Is that what you wanted?
How you doing, girl? Look good to see you. I'll do that. I'm gonna show tell her. How y'all doing? How your son doing? Okay. Yeah, I did. He's one of my favorite people.
Practical, under the.
Hi, Rob.
See you later.
Oh, yeah.
So you want a little bit more make it more explicit?
Yes.
And you want to raise from 25 or lower?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have something in there for you.
That was really a random.
Yeah, because, you know, you can just move here and, you know, retire here and be here for 25 years.
Well, first, Ms. Topher said life, you have to been born here.
I agree.
Well, then I thought
See
about
y'all later.
Mr. Topher. Mr. Topher's not
Still,
born.
I know, but still, it should be someone that
Okay, we'll take that back.
kinda like,
Hey,
a
Ron.
life member.
Y'all have a good night.
Like life members, we